Skeleton keys were introduced in Rise of Iron as a means to give players a guaranteed path to get loot from strikes. This replaced the older system of strike-specific loot simply dropping from the boss at the end of the strike, or when the boss was killed a la Omnigul. We are a few weeks into the expansion, so let's take some time to examine how the new system is working. Keys have a chance of dropping from any strike boss in any playlist. I don't know if they drop from these selected from the director or if they drop from Taken King or Legacy playlists though. I only tested the Nightfall, Siva Heroics, and 320 Siva playlists for this particular video, so any comment I make in this video is in regards to data I gained from those experiences. For both 320 Siva and Heroic Siva playlists, I got about 1 key per hour of playtime. I ran each playlist for 4 hours, and I got 3 to 4 keys from each run. For 320 strikes, I got ever so slightly more than 1 per hour, and Heroic strikes, I got ever so slightly less than 1 per hour. This is most likely due to how long the Heroic strikes took compared to the 320 strikes. These results were also mirrored by my fire teams as well. They all saw the exact same results. Now, this is by no means a statistically significant number of either keys or hours put in. Ideally, I would be running strikes until I had about 100 keys, since that would definitely give me consistent data, but I'm only human. Also, as a quick comment, why do 320 Siva strikes occasionally give stolen runes as a reward as well? That just feels odd to me. The point of the test I ran is that a 4-hour play session is a rather large amount of time for most players, so the fact that I only got about 1 key per hour is a little bit disturbing to me. The drop rates are, in my opinion, a little bit too infrequent even with the Vanguard streak active to support this type of loot system, especially with the ever-present RNG that is Destiny. Sometimes it would take upwards of 2 hours to get a key to drop in both playlists, but other times I would get 2 keys within an hour in both playlists. While keys should not be raining down, it should be feasible to at least collect the maximum 5 keys to promote you using them. Right now, I'm holding on to the keys as if they are cherished items. Oh, and I suppose you also want to know the results of the Nightfall testing too. Well, in a word, it was abysmal. We ran the Nightfall 20 times. Each fire team member got 2 keys. This took slightly over 4 hours, and again, while these results aren't statistically significant, it makes me believe that the Vanguard strike bonus is really helping with the drop rates. So for now, if you're wanting to farm keys, stay away from the Nightfall. It's also worth noting that this is a substantially lower drop rate than what the Nightfall was for strike-specific loot in Year 2. All this data, by the way, is from the first few weeks of Rise of Iron. As of this video, there's only been one patch to help some areas of the investment economy. Since it takes a while to gather this data myself and make scripts, I was really looking forward to hopefully making a video going, hey, it's fixed, here's my data beforehand, and here it is now. Well, that sadly isn't the case. Skeleton key drop rates, as far as I can tell, have not been touched. If you're looking for a suggestion on which strike playlist to run, then you have to ask yourself if you're only wanting to run to farm for skeleton keys. If the sole purpose of your playtime is to farm keys for 4 to 8 hours straight, then I suggest hitting up 320 strikes. However, if you want more than just keys, go into the Heroic Strike playlist. You will get significantly more Vanguard rep there, and it will allow you to get more varied loot in the long run. Anyway, there's a couple paths that I see to actually remedying the situation. First, and most obvious, is to simply raise the drop rate. Keys should absolutely be an exciting thing to get, but not a dull affair like blues are. A small raise in the drop rate would help alleviate some of the tensions in using keys. Another thing that there should be is a guaranteed key once per week, similar to how the old Prison of Elders keys worked. The first Shiro bounty would be a great place for this, or hell, even replace whatever we get from the Plaguelands Patrol weekly questline reward with a key. As long as players who want a key have a guaranteed way of getting it at least once per week. Before the most recent patch, I had a bit here about how the skeleton keys were an integral part of leveling up, since the grind from 350 to 370 could really only be done by opening chests and getting keys. This was mainly for the artifacts that came from there. Fortunately, that aspect of the key has been removed, since you can now get ghosts and artifacts up to light level 400 from Archon's Forge. It is worth noting that the chests also do open up to light level 400 as well, so it is still a good way to grind your light level up. As far as a reflection on the actual system, I enjoy being able to go into strikes and pick and choose which rewards I get. Well, Almost. It stings every time I open up a chest for an Imago loop and get a Titan class item. But still, I've gotten more Imago loops in these few weeks than I have over the entire course of the Taken King. So the system clearly can work, it just needs a little bit more help so it can go from a frustrating thing to a much more streamlined experience. I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll see you next time.